You can fight it and hide it, or you can lean into the color you earned and go gray gorgeously. The Upper Hand Salon can help you deal with everything from taming the new, more wiry strands to balancing out the awkward patches until your gray becomes more uniform. Rachel Gower from the Upper Hand Salon is here to show us why gray blending is one of today's hottest hair trends and how stylists like Caitlin Valderrama can create seamless, low-maintenance looks that work with your gray, not against it. Good morning.
You gotta tame it.
All right, so the trend, gray blending.
Yeah, you know, of course we can cover gray. We've been doing that forever. But, you know, around COVID time, people started thinking, I wonder if there's another way. And there is. There's like a million bazillion other ways to handle it. And Caitlin's the expert at that. Yeah. We have so many people who are really good at gray blending. She found us 3 incredible models.
And I love that term gray blending, because so many people say, I would go gray. It's just that it's that one spot right here.
Right,
or it's just not, you know, it's just not uniform.
Yeah, so that's the problem with gray, is that it's not uniform. But the gray blending, where that comes in, is that she can create a uniform, cohesive look.
Yeah, and it's different for different people, because if you're blonde and you have gray, it almost can be like highlights, right? But if you're dark and have gray, then it becomes that salt and pepper.
That's exactly right. So we do a ton of the blonde gray blending. That's like a very common thing to do. But when you're dark and you want to go gray, that's a whole different animal, because you've got to figure out, like, how much do I let it grow out? Then what do I do after that? So the consultation, as always, is going to be the first step to figure out what the plan is.
Okay, and gray actually became popular there for a while. Was it Kelly Osbourne?
Yeah,
who went
silver.
Gray, and then she was like, what, in her 20s, and she just thought it was kind of cool. Yeah. So it's just another color option. All right, let's take a look at Danitza.
Okay, so Danitza, all right. Danitza is just amazing. First of all, she's an actual model, so thank you for that. She has such an interesting story, because you can see her before picture. She was starting to gray. Her base is kind of like a brown, like a mushroom brown. And she was like, she had been highlighting and doing all the things, and she was just kind of over it starting around COVID. So tell us what happened then.
Yeah, so my hair, I had been dyeing it blonde and getting it bleached, and then I decided to just let it go and realize.
So Caitlin, what did you do?
Yes, okay, so like most people, we have the salt and pepper, right, whenever we start to gray. And with Danitza, her pepper was more of a brown. So what we decided to go and do, and also too, she was mainly graying and had this silver streak. So what I decided to go in and do is do a highlighting method called air touch. And basically that's where you take a dryer and you hold the hair out and you start drying it from the root to end. Whatever I have in my hand, we're highlighting. Whatever falls out, we're low lighting. And so I basically did that all around her hair. You can turn this way for me. Perfect. And you can see how beautiful and blended that look is.
I mean, look at it right away and say gray.
We're getting a lot of positive feedback from the audience.
You got some great foxes over there that are interested. But what's so cool about it is that when you look at the hair color, you don't go immediately go gray. You go, that's really interesting.
It's just beautiful.
Color. Yeah,
it really kind of gives like a mysterious sort of charcoaly, but like lots of dimension, which I love. And then of course your hair is really, really healthy. And that's the other key with gray blending of any kind, just because it changes the texture of your hair.
Yeah. Oh, grays can get wiry.
Oh my gosh. So you have to either be like an expert in blowing it out using the right product, or our favorite Brazilian blowout.
Exactly.
Right. Yeah.
All right. Thank you very much.
So beautiful. Thank you, Danitza.
All right. Up next,
Jennifer. Okay, Jennifer is an elementary school principal.
So she earned her grays.
She earned every gray. Plus she is a 22-year-old, so she earned the grays. You can see her before picture, and she was kind of like, at this point she hadn't colored her hair in several years, so it was kind of a colored version. She was just kind of trying to figure out what to do. So what was the first step, Caitlin?
Okay, so a lot of the times whenever people are wanting to go gray, their biggest thing is they have the gray up here, but old color or darker nothing down here. So a big thing that you can do is a chop.
Yeah.
And she had been thinking about wanting to do a bob and just cut off all of the dark bits, and that is a great way to start. So whenever she came in, we were like, all right, let's do it. Let's do the chop. And so then we ended up with this beautiful, almost like lob. We have a
it gives it so much shape.
Exactly.
When you have long gray hair,
it
makes you almost look, it makes you look older, right?
Right. You've got to give it shape.
A style. This looks like it was intentional that you colored the top.
Exactly, exactly. And this is perfect for her everyday wear. She can wear it nice and sleek for during the day, or she can undress it with some waves. So basically, she had this beautiful silver in the front, and we wanted to blend that brunette in the back. So I just went through with very fine highlights, and I added more in the back, and you can.
It just blends it together.
Exactly. It's very nice, very subtle. We highlighted her and then toned with more of a charcoal dark silver.
Yeah, that's so pretty. Okay, so like all times people with like light brown hair, even blonde, will have a money piece, right? Which is the blonde, much blonder hair around the face.
She's got a money
piece. That's
piece. Right. Yes. That's exactly right.
The money has matured, so it's worth more.
It's worth a lot more. It's just so striking, and I guarantee you're going to get so many compliments on your hair. You probably already have.
So
it's really pretty, and it suits your face, it frames your face, and the color is stunning. Now, as it grows out, she can decide. You said in the green room, a lot of women actually come back and change their minds because they miss the salon.
Exactly. So many people, I take them gray, and they go through this transformation, and then afterwards, they're like, wait, I miss being in the salon. So a lot of the times I tell them, you know, we can do a seasonal look. So if you can come in, and let's say your hair is completely white all over. Maybe in the winter time, we low light that up. So I'll put low lights of dark charcoal silver in there, or just a darker silver, just to break up that lightness.
And trust me, the gray will make you go back to the salon, because that wiry piece we talked about, when it comes out the root that hasn't been treated yet, then it's going to be like, you're like, oh, you got to come back in.
Exactly.
Thank you so much.
So beautiful. Thanks,
Up next
Jennifer.
is Samantha.
Okay, Samantha, gorgeous. So she has beautiful, long, thick hair, and they had been doing some fun color blocking things. You can see her before. So that wasn't her natural gray. That was just some color that they added for fun. But she was starting to get her silvers popping in a little bit more. So what did you guys decide to do?
So yes, with Sam, she has just very subtle little silver through here. And she is my fun girl. You know, we've done purple, we've done green, we've done it all. But she honestly wanted something a little bit more low maintenance. And it sounds crazy to do a silver as a low maintenance color, but I went through and I accentuated the front by highlighting around the frame of her face and then the frame of her nape. Especially with her hair color, I didn't just want that lightness right there. I wanted to bring everything forward to mimic and just flow with her haircut. And yeah, I was like, you know what?
Big bouncy layers.
Exactly. I want that lightness on the bottom whenever she brings it forward. So it's just so nice and cohesive. And whenever her hair grows out, it's gonna look natural but fun, and also give more of like that alternative type style.
Right. And it's cool when, you know, when we're coloring grays, like a lot of people starting in the 30s, some people in their 20s, right? So it can be hereditary. You're covering all your hair.
Yeah.
Right? You try to avoid, you want just color the gray, you're going to color all your hair. But this way, you're not having to color all your hair.
No, it's strategic.
Yeah.
And honestly, the other thing we wanted to talk about here is that there is a tendency for the silvery gray to go yellow. And that has to do with all the underlying pigment. Yes, for sure. So there's ways around that. What would you recommend, Caitlin?
Okay, so the biggest thing is whenever you're swimming, everyone thinks it's the chlorine that makes your hair yellow or green or whatever, but it's actually the copper in the chlorine. So, you know, what you don't want to do.
Right?
Exactly. You know, hair color is made up of all these different types of metals. It's crazy science. So the biggest thing, though, is a lot of people want to go towards that purple shampoo and the blue shampoo. No, you need something that's going to demineralize that. And we offer services like that in the salon. And it's always great to do for back to school, to come in, you know, you've been swimming and all of that good stuff. So demineralizing shampoos, cleansing, clarifying shampoos, and then come back into the salon, get a toner, get a treatment, and you're good to go.
And have fun with it.
Beautiful.
All right.
Looks
so
so
gray
good,
does
Sam.
not have to go away.
No,
you can bring
make
that
it
gray
fun.
to play.
That's right. And talk about a money piece. Like to me, that's just sort of like a whole front.
And it all starts with a consultation.
That's
you
right.
Want to sit down and make sure that the expectations that you're all on the same page.
Because there's so many different ways to go. So start with a consultation. Caitlin's one of our experts.
All right, Rachel, thank you very much. Caitlin, thank you. Thanks to our models. The stylists at the Upper Hand Salon are skilled in everything: color, cut, style, and also various methods of extensions, because you can actually get extensions that are gray as well if you wanted to introduce it that way. There are 2 locations, River Oaks and in Memorial. To make an appointment, call 713-520-0772. Again, that's 713-520-0772, or log on to theupperhand.com. You can also visit their website at studiohairextensionshouston.com. I know some people can't believe I said get some extensions that are gray, but but you can get any color you want. But that's really cool. I love it.